Hello everyone and welcome back to the Music Review Emporium. My name is Ethan and I am here with, I was going to say another album review, but this is my first album review. Hey Lexi, can you come here? Come here. Do you smell that?
No.
It smells like Teen Spirit. Come on, no. Alright, Nevermind. Alright, hello everyone and welcome to an album review of Nirvana's Nevermind. This album was recorded back in 1991 under the label DGC and was produced by Butch Vig. Obviously, this is one of Nirvana's most iconic, most successful albums, but it wasn't always supposed to be that way. It started with surprisingly low expectations, actually. Due to the success of It Smells Like Teen Spirit, it shot right up, actually knocking Michael Jackson's Dangerous off of the #1 spot on the Billboard 200. So this Diamond album played a major role in bringing grunge and alternative rock to the mainstream audience. But is it really that good? Today, we're gonna find out. So here's how reviews work on my channel if you're new here. I have listened to this whole album so you don't have to, and given each song a score. This album's final score will be an average of all these songs combined. These are just my opinions, so please don't get mad if I trash Joy Division and then praise Lil Xan. So without further ado, let's talk about Smells Like Teen Spirit. It is a 5-minute long angst-filled grunge fest, and obviously it's one of the most popular Nirvana songs, but I'm not personally that into it. As far as I see it, it's pretty boring as far as Nirvana goes. And, like, trust me, guys, I really want to believe that this is a great song. And, I mean, it's good. I can rock out to it. But it's still such an important part of rock culture. I wouldn't want this song to be the most iconic Nirvana song, but it is. And it gets in your head. And it really does suffer from a level of repetitiveness and just, I don't want to say blandness, but, I mean, the song's just a little bland. And it gets about a 7 out of 10 from me. So, the next song on this album is In Bloom, which has that classic Nirvana sound of the quiet verses into the loud choruses, and that's something you're going to hear a lot in this album, is just that mood shift between disinterest all the way up to angst and anger, and you hear that transition so many times in a lot of these different songs. In Bloom has a nice melodic chorus, and there's plenty of opportunities for Dave Grohl to play the drums and just shine right through. And a solid guitar solo really makes this album, this is where the album starts for me, and it gets a solid 8.5 out of 10, much better than Smells Like Teen Spirit. But now we're getting into the really good stuff when we listen to track 3, Come As You Are, which has that quiet opening, and it has a good use of guitar pedal to give it this nice rippling feel, almost watery, like you're hearing the song through water. The chorus shows a crescendo, and it shows loud, and it feels loud, but you never really lose that feeling of just chilling out and listening to Nirvana. The weird thing that, you know, kind of makes me think, really makes you think, is the line, I don't have a gun, which has a certain edge to it today that wasn't really present back in 91 for obvious reasons, and the song gets a 9. Next up is one of my favorite Nirvana songs, and that's Breed. It's got solid drum work in the opening, it's got repetitive verses, but, you know, feel bad saying that's okay when I kind of took points off from that for, Smells Like Teen Spirit, but Breed has more to listen. It's got more to make up for. It makes up for the repetitiveness more than Smells Like Teen Spirit does. It's got a great guitar solo, a great bass line. The bass line, it's really interesting. The bass line stays calm during the guitar solo, but the guitar just goes nuts, and it's not in tune with the bass line, and it works really well. I'm not a fan of the end. I kind of wish it would have like a full stop instead of, you know, the fading to completion, but just like a full stop would have sounded much better. But none of these complaints really stops it from getting the 10 out of 10 it deserves. The next track, Lithium, is a great look inside of the narrator and even possibly Kurt Cobain himself, mental illness, even extending into the title itself, Lithium. It's got these chill verses showing disinterest, and then the upbeat chorus, which is invested and excited and angsty. So it's good at representing the mania and depression of bipolar, and bipolar disorder is actually treated with lithium, or it used to be. It's not as common anymore, but it used to be. Next song is Polly, which has this like empty, disinterested sound, which is really characteristic of grunge, but it's almost disturbing to listen to. It's got a good chorus, it sounds sad, it's great to listen to. It's simple, and it's got a very disturbing backstory that I'm not going to go into right here, right now, but if you want to look up this story, just check out Gerald Arthur Friend. That's who this song is about. Polly is about a 9 out of 10. I keep saying about when I have it written down exactly what I'm ranking each of these songs. I'm sorry. Next is Territorial Pissings, which is angry, and I mean, I prefer the quieter sounds myself. As I like get older, I kind of realize that like the quieter songs say more than the loud ones do, but you know, sometimes you need a loud angry song. Grohl is just beating the drums in this song, and it's great. Grohl is really beating on the drums, and it's not my favorite Nirvana song, but it's a solid song. I mean, on this album, compared to some of the other tracks, it doesn't shine as much. It's an 8.5, I would say, on this album, but it's still a solid song. Next up, you have the melodic Drain You, which is another iconic song. Almost everything off of Nevermind you're gonna find is either iconic or good, or most of them both. If you ask me, Drain You is kind of the proof that grunge isn't about muted color. It sounds like a colorful song to me. It's got great use of dissonance, and it's got this guitar solo. It's got this gross guitar solo that it just sounds so good, and it dissolves right back into the upbeat sound, and this is another 10 on Nevermind. Stay Away has a pretty simple drum and bass opening. It's got a good back and forth between the clean vocals and these fuzzy filtered vocals in the chorus. Another great song, 9.5 out of 10. So the next track is On a Plane. It's got this short guitar warm-up opening that's disconnected from the rest of the song, but then when the song actually comes in, it just blasts right in, and the chorus bangs, and it's such a solid song. Near the end, it starts getting repetitive, and like I was getting a little bored with it at the end, but then the repetitiveness kind of like stops, and they go into the acapella ending, and it's great. It's another 9 out of 10. It would be a 10 out of 10 if it wasn't for all the repetitiveness. So then you finally have Something in My Way, which is the album closer. It's quiet, and it's chill, and it's monotone, and it's got minimalist verses. It picks up, but it still retains the monotone, and I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I hate it either. I love the monotone sounds. It's just they've got to be done right, and I think it was done right, but once again, it really suffers from the same sort of repetitiveness that I keep bringing up. And then there's finally a secret track called Endless Nameless, which has this heavy screamo sounding intro, and then the vocals come in, and it's just screaming, and I'm not a huge fan of that, but there are very limited vocals in it. When the vocals do come in, it starts as screaming, and then it fades into the Nirvana monotone, and then it goes right back to the screaming, and there's some surfer vibes thrown in there, and it's interesting. I'm not a huge fan of the vocals, but it's more of a showcase of the instrumentation than it is the vocals. So Endless Nameless is an 8.5 out of 10. So to recap, Smells Like Teen Spirit is a 7 out of 10. In Bloom gets an 8.5. Come As You Are is a 9. Breed's a 10. Lithium's a 10. Polly is a 9. Territorial Pissings is an 8.5. Drain You is a 10. Stay Away is a 9.5. On a Plane is a 9. Something in the Way is a 9. And Endless Nameless is an 8.5. So the worst song on this album is Smells Like Teen Spirit. I'm sorry if that's a controversial opinion. It might not be. I've just never really been a fan fan of it since, you know, I was into it in middle school. Everyone's into that song in middle school, and then I kind of realized there were better Nirvana songs to compare it to. The best song on this album, I think, there are so many 10s on this album, but I think the best one is Breed. My favorite track, though, is Lithium, which is another 10, and my least favorite is Smells Like Teen Spirit again, because, like, I keep bashing Smells Like Teen Spirit, and I'm sorry, but I think that there are just better Nirvana songs out there. So this song gets a total of an 8.3 out of 10. So in conclusion, Nirvana's Nevermind is an excellent album. It's only held back by so much repetitiveness in Smells Like Teen Spirit and elsewhere in the album. However, that doesn't stop it from receiving a listen to it rating from me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me what you think of it in the comments. Tell me what you think of my rating. Like, share, comment, show it to your friends. Follow me on my social media. My links are in the description down below. Who's there? Kurt Cobain! No! 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 No!